India became independent in 47. We are now in 2012. We are a growing democracy, but there are some deep-rooted divisions in our society. One, largely a caste-based division. We started building several institutions and around people. And I think this weave has been very interesting. Till now, it's been about 16 institutions across the country, all around leadership of people who have come, some from the grassroots, some from Cornell. So we have all sorts of people. My life, in a sense, changed post this period of 2000, 2002. One, we were sitting on top in 2000 on one of the big disasters, which are not man-made, but a natural disaster, the earthquake which shook with Kutch as an epicenter, and the whole state of Gujarat was affected. But it was 2002, we had just finished with the basic rehab in place, and we had the huge communal violence. It was the kind of an epicenter for a huge process to unleash itself. But one must understand there was an underbelly to that process which was going on for 30 years. What happens when a state and a nation and a people are not in sync with recognizing that conflict is an important part and an important part of a body politic, and that we need to factor it in our development process, and that to be able to get children to learn to deal with it in a healthy manner. I realize most conflicts are about choiceless identities. It's interesting that most of the fights which are happening up around religion, around gender, people who have not chosen those identities and yet they are encouraged to hold those identities as their main identities. And I think that's a development paradigm. When your top 3 identities are choiceless, means you're underdeveloped. Young people in India will give their top 3 identities which are choiceless. And I think there lies the crux of what we need to be doing with all this. I think we resort to violence when I see myself losing irrecoverably. And Gujarat elections, this time when the BJP was about to lose, knows it's going to lose, it unleashes a violence and therefore brings in a new identity politics. And I think this has been tried out in many countries. I think the biggest problem in Indian democracy is the weak rule of law. Democracy needs one pillar where you have a strong rule of law and a strong judicial access to justice system. But when an access to justice system starts looking at itself as a dispute resolution system, there is no justice, there is only settlement of disputes. If we are looking at conflict, we have to learn that conflict is going to be part of life. We have to engage with it. We have to find very creative ways to see that conflict becomes energy by which more people can find new solutions. We need to create access to justice and dispute resolution systems as separate. We need to work in schools and colleges and young people. And I think to start looking at their identities and explore their identities in a much more deeper way and not give in to identity politics of people who thrust it on them. I think some of these thoughts have therefore changed how our discourse of development in India and in Gujarat.